Hello and welcome to this week tutorial. In this week tutorial, we will continue working on our project that we started in the last video. As you can see right here, this is what we studied last tutorial. We were creating an advanced blog website. This is the final project look like. And last week tutorial, we lay out the HTML right here. And this week tutorial, we'll be adding the CSS and JavaScript to make it responsive and nice like this. As you can see, this carousel. We add this functionality in this tutorial. There will be a link on the description where you can watch the first part, and also there's a link for the starter folder where you can download that has the HTML for this one and the CSS. So we'll be using SASS in this tutorial. I'm going to be using Prepros right here. It's free that you can download and going to compile your SASS into regular CSS. There's a link in the description where you can go to and download it and just open it up and then open your project folder right here. As you can see, I already have mine open, and go inside click on the SCSS and click on the main.scss. It will show you. Create this folder, CSS folder, and compile it to the main.css. And if you take a look, you already have it right here. So make sure you check this process automatically and the preface CSS and click the process file, and everything should look great right here. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello and welcome back. My name is Marius, and on this channel I create web design and development tutorial, and I release new tutorial every week. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you'll be notified next time I release new tutorial. Like I said in the introduction, this is the part 2 of in this tutorial series. In part 1, we lay out the HTML to this website. This is the final project right here. That's how it looks like. So in this tutorial, we'll be adding the CSS and the JavaScript to make it responsive and everything. And I already have my Visual Studio Code open with the file. So if you want to follow along, you can open it up. I will go over the SASS files. So first, if you click on main, the SCSS, I already import the file that we needed, like the variable, mixing, the base, typography, the grid layout, the header, the footer, the carousel, the button code, again the carousel, so we can modify this one and the form. So first, let's start with the variable. This is the variable, this is the color that we're going to be using. All of this, the primary, Docker version of the primary, secondary, Docker version of secondary, accent, all of that. And down here, my typefaces. These are heading font family. Gonna be as word is sans serif, and for the body font family, Roboto. With our font weight right here, and this with our font sizes. So for the smaller devices, is 50%. So 50% of the default font size, which is 16. So this is gonna be 8 pixel. And the medium device is 56.25, so around 9 pixel, and so on and so forth. And on larger devices is 62.5%, which is 10 pixels. So one, because we've been using RAM, so one RAM will equals on smaller devices 8 pixel, on medium devices 9 pixel, on larger devices 10 pixel, and on extra large devices 12 pixel. And this is my heading variable, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, these are font sizes, and this is the leading font size, the line height, letter spacing, padding, the button padding, and some other helper variable that we can use throughout our SASS files. And then this is just for the grade that we needed. This the guarded the spacing between each one of them. And for the responsive, these are our breakpoints. These are mobile first, so we start from the smaller devices all the way to the larger devices. So SM small, stand for small, 0 EM, EM right here. So and our medium is 34.5625 EM. So basically, I just take the my desired breakpoint number in pixel and divide it by 60, the default font size of the browser, and that's what gave me this number. And for larger devices at 901 divided by 16, and it gave me this, and then so on and so forth. And then this is the for the container, and smaller devices 90% for the container, and medium devices 85%, and larger devices is 23.3 RAM, and larger devices, as you can see right here, up right here, is 10 pixel. 1 RAM equals 10 pixel. So in this case, 123.3 RAM equals 1233 pixel, and larger device 130 pixel. So 1560 divided by 12 with our base font size, and I have my index number right here. So that's the variables that we set up. Now inside our mixin, just create this mixin right here for one for transition, where the property, the duration, the easing function right here. So instead of writing over, we can call this mixin anything that we need to add transition to an element. We have the border and some justify flex, backs element justify between, center justify end, all of this. And this for the grade, the 12 count grade you use for the 12 count grade. And this for the breakpoint, the media query right here, create mixin for the media query. So we're gonna use the mixin. Anytime we try to use it, we're gonna call this one and pass in our breakpoint, either SM, MD, LG, or XL. If we choose SM, we're gonna use this one, the main width, so we're at 0, and then we're gonna whatever we put in between here, we automatically compile to the CSS, and so on and so forth for the rest of these. So that's the variable and the mixin file, and then we go inside the base, the SCSS. Just had the CSS reset right here. I zero out everything, set our backside to be inherit, and then down here on the HTML, I set a backside to be border backs, and then I set up my font size right here. As you can see for the MD, 56.25%, and you see this is the media query. Say add include respond as say MD, and I added this font size. And for the body, I set a font family right here. Set our background color to be the off-white color, the color to be the body text color, and the font with a line height. And I set the font size to be 1.4 RAM. So we're gonna change that any other devices. And I set up for my images and these basic stuff right here. So that's for the base and the typography. I just set up for the paragraph, the heading 1 to heading 3. I just add the font family to them, make them bold, and add the font size for the from H1 to H3. And for this one, actually, you can delete this spot, all of this. So that's it for the typography. And inside our component, we have our button right here. The button, that's what we have already here, but we're gonna add others one to it. So that the button already style, we don't need to do anything else. Just set the display to be black, so it's 100% of the width of its container. Add some padding to it, to RAM, top and bottom. We're gonna change this one to the border. No, there's a variable called button padding. Save it. As long we have your SCSS and pre-pros to compile your SASS function, it will automatically process it for you. So the CSS will be updated. And here for the border radius, we have a variable called border radius. Choose it, save it. We got us 0.6 rem right here. So that's the button. For the code also, set up the code. That's why we have this nice code already right here. And we're gonna change few things on the code right now. And our first thing we're gonna change, remove the back shadow right here. So remove it, save it. The back shadow should disappear. Now we need to change our background color for the body. So we are right here. Now instead of the off-white color right here, we can make it a little bit darker. So use the SASS and function darken and wrap it around this right here. We're gonna put by 4%. Save this. Now you can see it's a little bit darker. And that's all you need to do for this. If you resize it, everything looks fine. So that's it, the code right here. But we're gonna add more to it later, as when we saw styling this one right here. So that's for the code. The carousel is empty, but we're gonna add it later. The form also is empty. And here we just had a folder with a basic styling for the grade. This all give us a 12 grade column right here. The header is empty. We will start working on it. That's the first thing we work. One of the first thing we're gonna work on. And for the session here is empty, but the session will hold all the different sessions on our website right here. And we're gonna start them up. And then the vendor is just our carousel CSS. And that's it. That's the SASS file that we're gonna be working with in the tutorial. And always the CSS is right here, the compile CSS right here, as you can see. But again, with the media query is right here. So with that out of the way, I will open up my HTML. And also, if you had a pre-pros, you can just right click on the project folder right here and choose open preview right here. Open secure preview. It automatically open it on your website. I already have it open right here. So that's another nice way to do it. So first thing, as you can see, we have some classes like session spacing, text center, and we have another one right here. One second. Like uppercase, all of these, a line in middle, and then we have margin bottom and a margin top. So we're gonna start working on those classes right now. So go inside of your SCSS and go inside of base and right click and choose new file and call this one underscore helper.scss and go inside of main the SCSS, and after the typography you duplicate this and choose the helper. save it. And then let's go back here. We start working on it. So first one, the section spacing. I will set a padding tab to be my section default spacing, which is the variable that we set up instead of the variable for the file, which is a file rem. And then I'm going to duplicate this also and set a padding bottom also. Now we're going to add some spacing between each section. So as soon as I save this, now you can see we have some space now right here. Now you can see some spaces, some space right here. So that's what this one is doing. So after that one, the margin tab. As you can guess it, we're going to add a margin to the tab. So margin tab. We're going to use our grade variable. So I say gutter margin vertical. So on the vertical, top to bottom, which is just 2 rem. If I save this, and you can start see some spaces, as you can see right here and right here. Those who have margin tab, we have this one. And I want to remove it on larger devices. So say I include respawn LG margin tab to be 0. Now I will do it for the margin bottom. So I'm just going to copy this. Margin bottom. Remove this one. And this one also bottom. Save it. Now you can see some space right here. Because if you take a look right here, we had a margin bottom right here. If I remove this and save it, as you can see, it's very close. But if I put it back, we had a margin. After this, we do the uppercase. For example, this word and this one have class uppercase. So uppercase. It's a text transform uppercase. Save it. Now you can see. Now text center. Will be text align center. We save it. Now you can see this one shift because they had a class text center. And down here too, as you can see, all of this. And last but not least, the align made in the middle, align in middle. This had to do with the flex back, so I say align item center. You see this one, this will shift in the middle. As soon as I save this, as you can see, now we're aligned in the right in the middle. So that's it for our helpers. So I'm gonna close this one out, and then I will go inside my layout header, the SCSS right here. So first I will grab my header class, give it a background color of my off-white lighter color. Save it. You might not be able to see, but the background color is lighter than the body background color. And I choose my header nav. Right here, the header nav. And put the ampersand to underscore nav. This we choose header nav, as you can see right there. Header nav, that's what it chooses. I will set position to be relative, and our padding to be 2 rem, top and bottom, 0 left and right, so I give some breathing room for the element. After this, I start working on a profile. I choose the profile. Use the profile right here. Display, flex, align, item, center. Now I will choose a profile image. This one had a class called profile image. I set the width to be 4.5 rem. Height also 4.5 rem. I set the border radius to be 50%. Margin right to be 2 rem, and overflow to be hidden. So make sure that if the image is bigger than these two sizes, I will clip it and won't show it. So the image got a little bit smaller, and then some space right here to push the lag out to the right a little bit. So that the profile, now that we're working on the logo. So this one. So I had a class header logo, so I put the ampersand to underscore logo. I set the font size to be. Now after the font size, I'm gonna add the font width, and we use our bold width variable like that. You can see it got bolder. We change the color to our primary color, which is dark green. Save it. The color changes right here. After the color, we change the text transform to uppercase. Now you see. And then we change the font family to be the heading font family. Now you can see a lot cleaner. And then medium devices, we're just gonna increase the font size a little bit. So I include respond MD and set the font size to be 2.2 rem. Save it. Nothing changes here, but as soon as I increasing it, if I comment this one out, save it, it's a little bit smaller. If I put this one back, save it, a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to change it again and larger. Very simple. Respond LG, and this one will be font size 2.5 rem. Save it. Now I get also see medium, larger, small. So that's the logo. After the logo, now we start working on the extra right here. So I go down right here. So it had a class header extra, sample the ampersand 2 underscore extra. And then in here I've set a display, be flex, set the inline item to be center, save this. I can see. And then we want to set a justify content, be flex, and so this one is sticking to the left. We want this one to always to stick to the right. So if I save this, as you can see, it shift to the right. And then we're going to grab the subscription, this one right here. And then we say margin right to be 2 rem, a little bit of margin. And after that one, now we're going to focus on this search area right here. First we say position to be relative. We give a z index of very high 15 because we put the input field on top of it, but we want the icon to show on top, right on top of it once we click it. That's why I set the position to be relative so I can use the z index. So after that we grab the icon using the I element, set the font size to be 2.5 rem and the cursor to be pointer. Save this, as you can see, and look like it's clickable. After this, I choose my, so what I want to do, once you click this, if you click the search right here, we have this search form and the close icon is showing. And then when we close this one, the search is showing and the close icon is not there. So right now I want to hide this one for now and only show this one. So because of that, we grab my I with the class called this for the search icon. I've set this one by default display to be black, and then grab my close icon and I've set a display to be none. I save it. Now you can see the search is showing. And then we want to do something to the search. We close the I right here. We want to add a class called close to the search. What this means is the search, this search class has another class called close to it. Then we want to hide this search icon and show the close icon. So in this case, I'm just going to grab this, just grab this one right here, paste it right here. It's going to be the opposite. This one will become none, and this one will become block. So let's add it to our search right here so you can see it. So we have it right here, class called close. We save it. I can see the X is showing and our search is gone. So that's what we want to do. And then we want to move it a little bit. Let me put it back here. if you take a look, when we click this one, we see that it moved a little bit to the right, left. So inside here, we're gonna say transform, translate x, just -2 rem. We save this. I can see it move a little bit. So that's it for the closing the search icon right here. So we remove the close right here. Now we work on our search form. This part. So after the search right here, the extra, I will go down, fill line, and write the search form. Go down here, and remember I had a class header search form. So ampersand _, search form. First time set position to be absolute. Set the background color to be transparent. This now the input, this is just the wrapper around the for input. I've set the width to be 100%, height also 100%. Save it. You can see it shift a little bit. I say display, reflex, align item, center, set up tab, be 0, left 0, and then z index to be 12. So you see on top of everything except for the icons. So if I save this, you can see it right here. But this is just the input, so we have to start the input separately. So now let's take care of the input. So open up your component from the SCSS right here, and then start styling the form. So we say form. So this is the class that it has right here, the form, and then inside of it we have a form input. So inside we said width to be 100%. That way we can add 100% width to this one so it can stretch. So getting form input, set that one to be display block. By default is display inline. To say width in 100%. Now you can see because the icon have z-index 15, that's why it's higher than 12. That's why it's saying on top of it. Set a font size to be 2 rem. Save it. So when you start typing, you can see. Add some padding. Top and bottom 2 rem. Left and right 2.5 rem. Now we have this. Now you take a look. If remember, we have our close icon somewhere right here. So when we type, let's say we type all of this, we want to push the close icon a little bit here. Actually, let me show you right here. Let me add a close class here. Save this. Now you can see. Now if I type this, see it goes right underneath it. So we need to add a little bit more padding right here. So inside of the form, say padding right to be 6 rem. Now you see, now it has more space right here. So we remove the close. We give it a border radius to be our border radius variable, which is 0.6 rem. A little bit around it. It says the height to be 100%. Now we need add some transition to this. So it's a so when we hover over it and focus, we see some changes here. So I say hover and then focus. This we just want to add some back shadow to it. So I say back shadow for the X 0, for the Y 0.2 rem, and for the blur 1.2 rem, and for the color RGBA. And this we take our body text color, and then for the opacity 0.2. Save this, and you can see some back shadow around it. So we add some transition right here at include transition, and remember inside our mixing, this is our transition right here. It takes property, duration, and easing function. So we want to change the property for this one. So all you have to do, specify the property. So property, and in this case the back shadow. That's what I want transition. Save this. Now let's remove this border around it. So it's a border to be 0. Now you can see the color, the back shadow when we hover over it and then when we focus. So that's the input search field. So we need to hide it for now. So I go by right here, set opacity be 0, visibility be hidden by default, and then we will add a class to it active. Once we get this class active, we set the opacity to be 1, visibility be visible, and then we're gonna give a transition at include transition. In this case it will be all, so we don't need to pass in the property no more. So now it's hidden. Later on we add our JavaScript, so when we click it will show. As a matter of fact, let's add our JavaScript right now. So when you click this it will show. So inside of the JS, open main.js right here. So with our header, first we grab our header, this entire header right here. So create constant called header, will be documents dot query selector, it will be header, and then create another one called search icon. In this, seeing the search icon instead of the header, we can just say header, query selector, and then we choose our search icon. It's just gonna be search, because both the search icon and the close icon are inside the class called search. So we just need to grab one, and then the search form, we grab the search form. So I duplicate this and call it search form, and then it's again gonna be search header to underscore search form. Now we need to add an event listener to this one. So go down, say search icon that add event listener, and we listen to a click event, and we use the arrow function. And we say the search form, grab my search form, say class list, the toggle active. So what this does, if it doesn't have a class active, it will add to it, and if it had a class active, it will remove. So let's try this. If I click, now we see our search form show up right here. Click again, it disappear. Active, disappear. If I make this larger, if I right click, choose inspect, inside our header right here, let me just like this one, have our search form right here. So watch what happens when I click this one. Now we have the active class and it's showing right here. If I click again, it's removed. Now we need to add the close class to this search also, so the close icon can be shown. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to grab my search icon, also class list, toggle, and then we're going to toggle the close class. So click, now you can see it shows the close icon disappear, close. See, now if you take a look at the finished project, if I close this, as soon we click this, you can see it's already focused. It's already focused. You can see, and you can start typing. You don't have to click in it again. So we need to add that functionality. So let's say again, click this. It should be focused already, ready for you to start writing. So let's do that. So we say, remember this one as soon as I have the active class, it shows. So I say if search form class list contains the class active. We're going to check if it had this class active. If it does, we're going to create a new constant, and then we're going to get our search input. Search inputs. Now we're grabbing these inputs. Will be header, the query selector. Then we're going to grab form to underscore input, and then we're going to then we set this set timeout function. Then we grab our search input. Then we run the focus on it. And for the timing, I put 1000 milliseconds, so 1 second. So after 1 second, it will become focus. I save this and let's try. Now it's focused, as you can see. So that's it for the header. Now let's move on to the rest of the site. So if you finish with the header, I'll close this one out. Close the form, the mixing. Also, I will leave the main. I leave the JavaScript for now. Now we're moving to the next part, which is the new releases. I will close this one out. So we had new releases. The finish project is a carousel, as you can see right here. This is our carousel. So we're gonna do that right now. So I'll go back to my JavaScript again, and then down here I put carousel, and then I will grab my carousel using jQuery because our carousel is jQuery plugin. So we grab my ID right here, paste it right here. Now we call the our carousel plugin. Then I will pass in the functionality. If I save this without anything, now you can see everything is still stuck. So we need to give it a class right here called our carousel. I save this. Now you can see now we are all three next to each other, but we're gonna fix that right now. So first thing I'll say autoplay to be true. Then I will say the autoplay, hover, pause. So when we hover over it, it will start sliding to be true. I say loop to be true. I say the dot navigation, the dots to be false. We're not looking for the dots, but we're gonna look for the arrows. So I say the nav to be true also. Save this. If you take a look at the bottom, you can see the arrows right here. If I click, and then I will give it some margin. As you can see, they're all stuck together. So margin to be 30, so 30 pixel. Now some spaces. I said a responsive class to be true. Now we need to start changing it. On a finished project, take a look. On larger devices we have 3, medium devices we have 2, and then on smaller devices we have 1. So we do it, say responsive, which is an object. Inside of here, we first thing we read the width, the browser width, so 0. Mobile first. I say item to be 1. Save it. Now you see we only got 1. Got 1 right here. For the second width 553, the medium devices. And for this one I say item to be 2. And last but not least, 901 larger devices. I say the item to be 3. Save this. That total of 4 items. So resize it. You can see we got 2. We got 3. You can see right here. Now let's work on the arrows. So we resize this one again. As a matter of fact, we leave it right here, somewhere like this. So we close this one now, and then close the JS. That's all we're working on the JavaScript. So you can close this one out. Now go back inside of your SCSS component carousel, the SCSS, and then we're gonna work on it. So we're gonna grab the owl carousel. Inside of it, we're gonna grab the owl nav. So if I right click and choose inspect, you can see we have the owl nav right here that have both of these arrows. I set a position to be absolute, tap to be 50%. Transform, translate, y negative 50%, so it's right in the middle. I say z index to be 12 and the width to be 100%. If I save this, you can see it's right here, right here. After this, we're going to grab the button, go there inside of the button element, say button, remove the outline to be none, outline to be none, set the width to be 4 rem, height also 4 rem, border radius to be 50%, also set the position to be absolute. I set a left to be 4 rem. Awesome. I've saved this. You can see it's right here. Now I'm going to grab the next and the previous and give them background color. So this button have class called our next for the next button, our prev for the previous button. So say our prev and then our next. And with this, I say background color to be the accent. Save this. Now you can see. Don't worry, we fix the icon inside of it. Now grab my next button and push it right here. So our next. I've set a left to be auto because we set a left to be 4 rem here, but we want to push it onto the right. And then we say right to be 4 rem. Save this. It's right here. Now let's start the icon inside of it. So you just set a color to be out of white, and then a font size be 1.8 rem. Save this. Now you can see. Now click it, and it's draggable also. As you can see, everything is working. Draggable. So that's it for the new releases. We finished with that. Now we're gonna work on this code right here. So this is the category and the welcome. I'll close this one out. Now we are right here and the category, and we want to work on the code. See, we had a custom custom height. So open up your code.scss and go all the way to the bottom so you can collapse this one all the way to the bottom right here. Say custom code. We grab our code again, and then we grabbed our custom code custom. First I'll set a cursor to be pointer. If I save this, now like a clickable, you can see, and then grab my header, code header, and give it a height of 100%. Save this. Now you can see everything is less smaller, because if you take a look right here, our code header have a height of 35 rem. We remove that by setting it to a height 100%. After this one, we grab the black details, which is this one. Set a bottom to be border bottom, just bottom to be auto. Top to be 50% and left 50%. The reason why we setting it like that, because we want to set this one in the middle. If you take a look at the blog details right here, you set it the position to be absolute and bottom to be 4 rem and the left 4 rem. I set a transform translates to be negative 50% and again negative 50%. Save this. Now we have it right here, right in the middle. Now we need to add some height to this, a little bit too small. So we're going to grab the heights. So I go down here. After this one, I say code custom height, and we set its height to be 15 rem. Save this. Now we get this. So on smaller, so just 1 column, medium 2 column, larger, the rest is 4 column. As you can see, now our CSS looking a lot nicer. This working. Focus. Close one out. All of this. Now this already look good. We don't need any styling for this side. As you can see, the code already been styled with 12 gray column to lay them out. So this already been styled already. So now we're gonna move to this side, the grocery builder. So I put this one right here. I will close the code out. Close this one. That's the welcome. Now the trending or even style is right here. Trending already look nice, as you can see. Now we're gonna go to our grocery builder. So for that, go inside of your section, new file, underscore grocery, create new file called grocery builder, the SCSS. So go inside on your main and come right here. Let's copy this one, paste it right here, colon section. Inside of it, find your grocery builder. Save it. And now let's go back here and then little comments. Down here say grocery builder. See the background image, give it a background image. The URL. Now we are inside our SCSS folder, but when we compile it takes from the SCSS to the CSS. So we need to jump out of this CSS folder inside of the image folder. So with that, to that / go inside our images folder and look for the grocery builder .jpg. Save this and you have it right here. I set a background size to be cover, background position to be center, and background repeats to be no repeats. Save this. We get this. And then we're gonna add some padding to it. Top and bottom 8 rem, left and right 0. Now you can see. Now you can see this button is the same as this one. It took the full width, everything, as you can see. But that's not the finished project. That's not we have. I can see smaller. So what do? We go back inside our button, go to component, button, SCSS. And if you remember right here, the button have another class called inline button inline. So we're gonna do that. So right here, just go down right here and choose again button underscore inline. I will say the display inline block. Save this. Now you have it right here. Now let's increase this one a little bit and add some margin. So we go back right here, choose H1 inside of here. All we had to do, I would just gonna add the margin bottom to be 2 rem. Save this. Now you have right here the heading 1, the heading 2, and your button like here. So we just style the header, the new releases, the category, the trending, the grocery builder, the smoothie is already been styled. You can see the button is just the code already been styled. So we don't need to do anything on this part. Now we're gonna do the review. And that will be the last of it because the tag contributor also already been styled. As you can see, everything look nice. Now we're gonna do the review. So I will close out the grocery builder and then the button. And inside of your section, create another file called underscore reviews .scss and go the main and duplicate this one. And this one we say reviews. Save it. Save this. Now let's take a look at our review. And you can see we had a nice background image and an overlay on top of it, and this card with these nice hover effects. Had an image, the text, and the name. So first, I will grab our reviews. Take a look inside the HTML. Let me close this one out. Your reviews, it had this class right here. So I say the background image. I use the linear gradient to add the overlay. And the first color is RGBA. We use the primary color. It will be 0.8. That will be the first color. And then the second color, it will be the same also. So as soon we compile a pre-pros, we automatically grab the RGB for the primary color, and we automatically replace them. That's why I'm using the variable right here. And then after that, if I save this one now, we get this, but we need to add a background image. So I say URL to dot / images / review .jpg. Save this. We get it right here. Now save background. I'll show you this trick. Instead of background, then put inside here, you can see the size, you can see cover, position to be center, and then repeats to no repeats. Save this, and it works. Instead of writing background size, background position, background repeat, you can do this. Now let's start working on the code. So I see the code have a class called review code. So we go down here. You see, open one on the code review code, review avatar for the images, and a review content and review name. So the review code. Again, this we select review code, as you can see, reviews code. Set up padding to be 4 rem all around. So when I stuck to the side, set up color to be off-white. Give it a background color, transparent. Save this. Now you can see. I give it a border. I use my mixin at include border, and we change this width to be 0.1 rem. Save this. Now you can see the border right here. I include a transition, and I set a cursor to be pointer. Now it look like a clickable. Then I will add a hover effect to it, and the background color will be the dark accent and primary, and then the border color will be transparent. Save this. So now you see. So that's that. Now next, the avatar. So reviews avatar says width to be 6.5 rem. Height again 6.5 rem, and then overflow to be heading, and border radius to be 50%. Save this, and we get that right here. Now we grab our content. Insert font size to be 1.6 rem, and the font style to be italic, so it's slanted right here. And then we set a margin tab to be 2 rem, so it gets some space in between. And like last but not least, the name, reviews name. Set the margin tab to be 2 rem also. Font size 1.8 RAM. No, not font style, size. Now I'm going to reduce this opacity a little bit. Opacity 0.6%. So as you can see, so that's the review part. As you can see, now let's work on the folder. Just gonna create this one a little bit. This one is already styled nice, so we don't need to do anything for this one. So let's go to the folder. So I will close my review. Go inside my SCSS Layout folder, the SCSS right here. I give it a folder BG color, which is the primary doc. Get the off-white, text and line to be center, and then padding to be 4 RAM. Top and bottom is 0 left and right. Now let's grab a folder logo. This one had class called folder logo. This is a folder right here. Had a folder logo right here. Set the font size be 2.5 RAM. Set a font family. Sorry, not font style. Size. Fonts family to be the heading. Font family. Save this. Now you can see. Say text transform uppercase, and then margin bottom to be 2 RAM. Save this. Then we get this. So this is the finished project. We had our header, a nice search that we got right here. Close it, click, and close it. We had our nice new releases session with this nice sliding carousel. Click, go to the next one. It's fully draggable. And then we have our welcome section with these 4 categories right here. Nice card. And we had the trending articles with a nice layout. And we had this section with a nice background image. We had this smoothie session with a nice card again. Nicely layout. Had this nice review with a nice hover effect. With a nice layout. And these contributors right here. And then our photo. And everything responsive. So if I right click to inspect. So resizing it. As you can see. And you can see you had 2 column. 2 column 2 2 2 2, and this one to the 4 width. Nice, look nice. 2 2 2 2 2 2. And then once we go to the all the way to the smallest, now we have 1 column. Everything still work just fine. 1. See draggable. Go down. And everything look nice. So if you have any question, feel free to leave in the comment section below. We're more than happy to help you. And if you want to find out how we create this code, there's a link in the description. You can watch it. Thank you for watching. If you have now already done so, I will appreciate it if you like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified next time I release new tutorial. Thank you again for sticking and watching through this tutorial. I appreciate it. Until next time, have a great one. Bye.